Leroy McGuirk, you went and started working for him as well?
Yeah, I did.
Memories of that territory?
Boy, that was a territory where if you couldn't work, Bill Watts didn't have you around. And if you started to finish, it started after you'd been in the ring for 1 minute, and you had to go 24 minutes. And if you missed one part of that finish, Bill Watts would fine you $50. But I'll tell you what, guys learned, guys thrived, and your best workers ever in the business come out of that territory.
What are your memories of Bill Watts? Do you consider him a bully?
Bill? Shit. He tries to be. You know. He tries to be, and that's good. That's his persona. But Bill Watts being a bully, nah.
You think he was good for the business back then in the day with his style of booking, or
you look at what went on, what's going on in the business today, and I say hell yeah.
Right.
I say hell yeah.
Because you hear stories about how you find the guys and
I was the biggest guy ever fined in his territory. He fined me for everything. I'm serious. I mean, Jerry Brown and I won the World Tag Team Championships there, so we went to a bar and restaurant with our wives one night. We had a steak dinner and all the drinks, bought everybody in the bar a drink and everything else. I paid for it in cash, but we had the check, and we told the woman to send it to the wrestling office. She said, Watts took the damn thing out of my check.
Wow. And it's true, I believe, if you got in a fight with a fan and the fan won, they'd fire you from the territory.
What, pardon me?
If you got into a bar fight with a wrestling fan...
You were gone, man.
Right, if you didn't...
You were gone. Yeah, you were gone.
Huh. Memories of Andre the Giant.
Just probably the best overall person I ever met in the business. He used to call me boss. My biggest thing about him was when Dory Funk Jr. had me pick him up at the airport in Amarillo, and I was driving a Corvette. And we had to take the top off so that he could stick his head out the window as I was driving down the road. And the reason Dory Funk Jr. had me pick him up was because he was coming in late and we had to go to Abilene. And besides that, Andre liked to ride with me because I would always drink wine with him, and he always had to have a half gallon of wine. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved Andre. I think he made me a lot of money. In that day, he made me a lot of money, which is no money now, but he supported me.
Thoughts on Dusty Rhodes over the years?
Dusty. You're going to have people come in here and talk about him being a no-good SOB and just a piece of junk. Dusty Rhodes, I know that I was never paid what I should have been paid. But also I know that the day that I quit, and I told Dusty I quit.
Is this for Crockett or is this...
No, this is back when I quit in Florida, when I retired. I'll tell you the whole gamut on me and Dusty. In 1979, I had come back to Kansas City, and I had just had a baby and was kind of nowhere going in my career at the time. And I called Dusty. And Dusty said, look, he said, I've got the best heels in the business in Florida right now. He said, I've got Ivan Koloff. He said, I got Mike Davis, Baron. He went on with all the top heels, Don Morocco, the Spoiler, all of them. He said, what I will promise you is you come to Florida, he said, I'll give you 2 weeks of TV. If you get over, you get a spot. If you don't get over, look for somewhere to go. I said, that's all I'm asking for is a chance, Dream. So I went to Florida, and just something clicked. Me and Barry Windham, me and Dusty, it clicked. And when it clicked, in the first 2 weeks, they made Mike Davis a baby face, and they put me as one of the top heels. And that was my run in Florida. I mean, I started, but Dusty, he was truthful to me. I'll give you a chance. If you can't do it, you can't do it, And I think that's all any of the boys wanted back then was a chance just to prove yourself, And I have Eddie Graham the same way. I loved Eddie Graham. I loved Eddie Graham. A lot of people didn't like. I loved him. Eddie taught me. I used to get in his airplane and he would talk wrestling from the minute, and that's what I wanted to do. Because you got to remember, back then I wanted to learn the business. I wanted to be the best that you could be at that business. So I wanted to be around those people that had already been there and knew and were established, and which is Dusty Rhodes, and which is Eddie Graham, Jack and Jerry Briscoe. Those were the people that knew because they'd been there. Right. They were there, you know. And so when people sit there and say, "Well, that line," that's all personality stuff. And I mean, I like Dusty, and I think the world of him, but we haven't talked. To this day, I haven't talked to him since I retired. The last day I retired from the business, I walked up and told him, I said, I was going to quit the business. He said, "Oh, you need 2 weeks off." And he had the gimmick, you know, the stutter and everything else. "I'll give you 2." I said, "No, Dusty." I said, "I'm done. I'm quitting." And so we talked for about 10, 15 minutes. He finally realized that I was serious, that I was going to quit. And he said, "Do you mind working with my boy, Dustin, tonight?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Would you mind?" I had never been beat in Florida on TV. Never. And I said, "No, I'll put him over right in the middle of the ring." I didn't just put him over once. I put him over twice. He beat me. I argued with the referee. He come back and beat me again, twice with his finish hold. And when I walked out of the ring, Dusty grabbed me and hugged me. And I said, "Dusty, there were many guys in this dressing room that did that for me. I'm just paying back."
Right.
But so you can't get no negative on Dusty or Bill Watts, any of those guys from me, because a lot of guys don't like them. I liked them because I always try to find something good in somebody. But they always treated me decent.
Eddie Graham, do you consider him one of the best finish guys in the business?
It was absolutely the best. Absolutely, hands down, the best. Him and Roy Shires.
What do you think led to Eddie's suicide? Was it real estate, or was it money owed, or some people say Dusty took all his talent to Crockett and kind of killed the company. Who knows?
I didn't talk to Eddie at that time. I don't know. That was the biggest shock of my life when I was called Super Bowl Sunday and they told me he killed himself. I wish I'd known, because Eddie loved this business so much that I think that he felt it slipping away from him. That could have probably been a contributing factor.
When you were down in Florida, Jack Briscoe was there as well. What are your memories of Jack?
Oh, I love Jack. Not only Florida, Amarillo, everywhere I went, Jack Briscoe. And not only did I have to worry about Jack Briscoe, but I had to worry about his brother, right, Jerry. Because whenever Jack come in to be the world champion and defend the world belt, Jerry would come in and you'd have to go around the territory with Jerry the first week and wrestle Jerry, and then the second week you get Jack. So right. I was married to those two brothers. I used to tease them all the time. I say, "I went by Blackwell, Oklahoma the other day and saw your mom and dad's curio stand."
What about Terry Funk in Florida? What was Terry like down in Florida now?
Well, they kicked him out of... I'm sorry, that was my daughter calling me on the phone. Okay. They kicked him out of Amarillo because he was going to kill somebody. So they sent him to Florida, and here we were in Florida, him and Dickie Slater and I together. That's another story, but Terry was great.
Memories of Dick Slater.
Dick Slater, God, Dickie. Fishing, shark fishing. And he had his girlfriend, I can't remember if she was girlfriend or his wife with him, and me and Randy Tyler and him, and we went out in the middle of the night to go shark fishing in Tampa Bay on the connection of the Skyway. And we hooked into a big shark, and as we hooked into the big shark, we're reeling it in, and it was a Mako shark, and he had a beautiful 26-foot Rennell cabin cruiser, beautiful twin screw boat. First thing, Randy got the fish too close to the boat. So when he got it too close to the boat, the first thing the fish did was grab a hold of the prop, one of the props on because the engines weren't running, grabbed a hold of one of the props and started swishing it back and forth. So then the shark figured he couldn't do that, so it grinched up, and he had a teak oak swim platform. The shark come up and took 1/4 off of it. So Dickie yelled to his girlfriend, he says, "Go get me my gun, go get me my gun." So she goes in to get the gun and the deal. And by this time, the shark has gone to the other side, ate the other corner off the swim platform. She comes back out, and the gun has no shells. He said, "Get me something before this damn fish eats my boat." So, we finally got the shells and shot the shark. But yeah, I'll tell you what, that's Dickie Slater. His whole life was like that.
What about Kevin Sullivan? Memories of Kevin?
Oh, Kevin, yeah. Kevin was another one that was Billy Jack Haynes. Yeah, he was a little bit out there.
All right. Do you think he lived his gimmick a little bit too far? Or do you think that was Kevin?
I think that was Kevin.
All right.
I really do. I think it was Kevin. I think I feel sorry for him after what happened here just a couple of years ago.
With Nancy?
Yeah, I feel sorry for him because I know that he thought a lot of her.
Did you know Nancy at all?
Just, yeah, a little bit.
What about memories of Mark Lewin?
Oh, God, there's another. You bring up guys that were just fantastic workers and fantastic manipulators. They can manipulate a promoter. They can manipulate a booker. I mean, they were just, Mark Lewin was a great guy.
Ernie Ladd?
Big cat. Yeah, that's my buddy. Yeah, Ernie and I were really, really, really close. My thoughts of Ernie are playing cards in the dressing room and riding back and forth in Louisiana and telling Turk Ollie Bay that he'd went to the bathroom in the back of his car. That was it, yeah.
What about Hiro Matsuda? Any good stories on Hiro?
Oh, Hiro? Hiro was a great guy. He was a nice guy. Tough dog, man.
Dick Murdoch was also down in Florida, I believe.
Oh, yeah, Dickie. I couldn't get rid of him. Once I got married to him in Amarillo, he just followed me everywhere.
Harley Race?
Harley, yeah, he's a Kansas boy. Pretty good old boy. Harley's had a lot of bad luck over the years, but they have nobody to blame for the Kansas City-St. Louis fiasco but themselves.
Right. You also teamed up with Lord Alfred Hayes. What do you remember of?
The Lord, yeah, the Lord. Didn't team up with him. He was my manager, and he in Florida, in fact, and he was just one crazy good guy. I mean, he was a lot of fun. He loved his scotch. Liked to play golf. I mean, we had a lot of fun together. Lord and I had a lot. He managed me and Randy Tyler down in Florida.
Right.
Had a lot of fun with him.
Mike Graham. What are your memories of Mike? Starting.
A lot of good memories about Mike. Mike fits right into that category of his dad and the Briscoes and all of them. Steve Kern, all of them are in that category of great workers that never really got their due. And there were a lot of guys in this business that were jealous of them. They thought it was some kind of like Florida. No, those guys worked their butt off to get where they were at. That was what the problem was. The guys that knock them never did work their butt off, so they have nothing to bitch about.
Right. Now, also Barry Windham and Blackjack Mulligan, they were down there. Memories of
Barry and I had fantastic. He was so green, but he was so willing to learn, and he was such a good. He was so easy to teach. Believe me, he was so easy to teach. It was like one of the greatest things in the world being in the ring with him,
As I name these names, it's like this is definitely a list of like some of the greatest workers there are,
He was fantastic. We used to have, he was such an over baby face down there. He was such a contrast to Dusty. He was a good looking young kid that I used to love to go to like Miami and to Fort Lauderdale and places like that and wrestle against him because the young girls up front would cry when you get the heat on him. They'd actually cry. They would actually cry, and it was unreal. And plus, it didn't hurt that we were wrestling in Miami in front of like the Bee Gees and Don Johnson and all those guys either. Of course, Don Johnson went to KU. So it was a great time.
What was the travel schedule like in the Florida territory? Florida
was a little harder. We flew a lot. We flew a lot of commercial planes. We flew a lot of private planes. So the territory, if you look on it on a map, doesn't look long, but it crisscrossed a lot. So it was a long territory, but it was a great territory to work.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.